Okay, so we need to look at some gas laws. So that we can understand how these gases are moving in the body. So the first law or concept or whatever we need to discuss or think about or understand is that gases move from high pressure zones to low pressure zones. All right, so from high pressure to low pressure. So it's, just really similar, or, it's moving the same thing as, high concentration gradient to a low concentration gradient, or high, area of high concentration of something to an area of low concentration. It's the same thing. It's just high pressure to low pressure. Okay. Blood moved that way as far as the pressure, from an area of high blood pressure to an area of low blood pressure. So it's the same concept there. So the next one is an actual law named for this guy named Dalton. So Dalton's law. And Dalton's law states that the pressure of a gas equals the partial pressures of each gas. So if we take the partial pressure of oxygen and the partial pressure of CO2 versus the partial pressure of nitrogen, whatever. Each one of these has a pressure called a partial pressure. And added up, that's the pressure of the entire gas. So air that you breathe isn't just oxygen. There's other stuff in it, all right? So again, if there's, 30 millimeters of mercury of oxygen, 40 millimeters of mercury of the, this carbon dioxide, and 30 millimeters of mercury of the nitrogen. Add those together, then the total would be 100. So 100 millimeters of mercury for the total gas. Okay, that's all it's saying there, that the partial pressures added together make the whole gas, amount of the whole gas. Okay, the pressure of the entire thing. All right, the third law is Boyle's law. So Boyle's law basically states that the volume and pressure of a gas are inversely related. Okay, so if you increase the volume, that means the pressure will decrease. Okay, if you decrease the volume, then you will increase the pressure. Okay, so this is important for ventilation, this concept. Dalton's law is more important for gas exchange. Okay, so just keep in mind, if you have a box, a container full of gases, okay, So full of a gas. So let's say there's oxygen, and gases don't sit still. So they move around, and the particles are moving around, and they are bouncing against the walls of the container. Okay, if you have another gas in there, it's doing the same thing. It's in here, it's moving around, and it is also bouncing off the walls. Okay, so if I make my container bigger, then what's going to happen? That means I'm increasing the volume of the container by making it larger. So the pressure goes down because the particles don't bounce against the walls as much. Okay? If I make it smaller, so I put all these things into a smaller space, then the particles are going to bounce on the walls way more. Okay, so the pressure increases. So again, increase the volume, pressure goes down. Decrease the volume, pressure goes up. And remember, the partial pressures of each pressure makes the pressure of the total pressure of the gas. So that's Dalton's law. And all gases move from an area of high to an area of low pressure. Okay, so let's talk about ventilation.